Hey there, everyone. I just wanted to address a few things that Kathy P spewed in her live stream that are clearly false and easily provable. And for the most part, I will be doing that. For some things, I will just be including a link in the description. If I don't get a chance to put the link in the description today, then by this time tomorrow, they'll all be in there. But yeah, this is ridiculous. Now, I know that Kathy P kept referencing this other channel, The Soup, or whatever. I think it's The Soup she was calling it, is her reasoning for wanting to do this. So The Soup can be fully like read into who we are and what we did or whatever. Well, I mean, this, as far as I'm concerned, this is for anyone who's interested, you know? And as usual, I don't ask that you take my word for it. I don't ask that you take anyone's word for it, least of all Kathy P. But just look at the receipts, which means you'll mostly be looking at my shit. But yeah, just look at the receipts and see for yourself. Now, Kathy wants to make the argument, move the goalpost or whatever. First it's, oh, no, they don't have receipts. They don't have shit. Then when you show receipts, when you show that you have shit, they're like, oh, well, no, they took it out of context. That's not what was really said. Well, it's really easy to prove one way or the other. Provide the context. Provide the source, the media source in which I took the clip from. Do that. They won't, though. They won't. I mean, I don't know why it's so important for them to push this very negative narrative about myself and other content creators, but it sure seems to be very, very important to them. So I'm just going to be going over parts of this, and I'm just going to jump right into it. Don't mind the mess behind me. I plan on this today. I plan on doing a few other things today, but luckily I got done with some shit early, so I have some time. And that's what I'm going to use it on right now, I guess. So don't mind the mess behind me. I don't have much makeup on or whatever, so just whatever, deal with it. Don't like it, don't look at the screen. I don't know what to say. So we're going to start here. And I just want to add too that Kathy P makes references throughout the stream and several times about doing your research, doing your homework. She did her homework and shit on me. Well, that's not true. That can't be true. It just can't be. And as we go, you're going to see how ridiculous that statement is more as we go on. So yeah. I didn't listen to my beginning of stream, so I don't even know. We're just going to start about here.
She didn't frame anybody. They put out that article. They were behind that article. It wasn't even a real article. It's not even. No, it's a garbage site on Facebook that'll put out anything you send, and jail is connected heavily to it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to comment on this part yet, but just keep it in mind.
A lot of people
connected to JLR.
A lot of people don't know this, but JLR. I don't know if he does this anymore, but in the old days, he would basically create a fake account, like a fake Facebook account, and be like, neighborhood watch, so-and-so reported this happened. And or he would have like a multiple, like he would make a fake article that he would write and then publish. And then he would report on the article that he wrote secretly to the audience. And this was a tactic he did a lot. He did this a lot. He did this with even did with Heels in Air. He did the same thing with Heels in Air. He's like, oh, this article talked about Heels in Air and like the doxing. He did this a lot. And that's why I never trusted any articles. Even to this day, like a lot of the articles I look at JLR, I'm like, I don't know if he wrote it or not and put it out there. But he was very snazzy with that one. And they would use him. JLR was used by Molly, was used by Betty, was used by Dolly, was used by all these guys. It's like, to do that stuff.
And what Aaron EKC is not telling Stinson.
She didn't even hear a word you said there, Tim B. Which I want to give some props here to Tim B, because you're going to see he actually questions her on he questions Kathy P on some of the claims. And he's the only one I've heard do this thus far. The only one. So thank you, Tim B. I mean, you kind of accept her answers very easily and flippantly, but hey, you at least pose the question. So I thank you for that.
that this has been an ongoing legal case. All the while, this woman who did nothing to these people, his life is still being torn apart by these people.
Oh my. And so is she saying that like everyone who's seeing this or witnessing this on the internet is just sitting back, shutting up, letting this happen? Because I'm going to say this right now. KathyP nonsense, all the shit I've heard over the past couple of days, here's what I keep hearing. How we did these horrible things. We destroyed this person's life. We did all kinds of harassment and stalking. But not once is a single example provided, either verbally or visually. Not once. Not once. And this is how it's been for 2 years. 2 fucking years. I've heard all about this big, bad, horrible thing I did. But no one will tell me what the fuck it is. No one will say, listen, right here, when you said the X, Y, and Z, that's what we're talking about. No one will do that. It's really rather frustrating.
My God, that person's in my chat. People suck. Where are you at? There you are. Nothing has been shared yet. It's happening as we speak. I haven't had her testify against me yet. So not much more I can say at the moment. Oh, okay.
What she's not telling you is why there's court going on. What they did to this woman's life. They did it. Not nonsense. Not me. They did. EKC, Steve, Veda. And yes, we're now even had her part.
So it's like an order of protection.
See, again, nothing's being said about what it is we did. And, oh, sure, Nonsense and KathyP didn't do this thing that they're talking about or whatever. But they sure as hell jumped on this shit and started streaming about it nonstop. Now, I don't know, man. That just seems like you're perpetuating the problem. All for your dime, my opinion.
Protection here? Oh, okay.
And they got cited for, they got the orders,
yes.
And they got cited for contempt.
They got cited for contempt? How do you get cited for contempt for that?
Because they ignored exactly what the judge told them to not do. They turned right around and did. The judge cited them on the way out.
So what?
Right there. The judge cited them on the way out the door. What? The judge didn't cite anyone. Okay. Yeah. Contempt papers were served because they were filed by the other side. It was a motion. Okay. The judge didn't do anything regarding this contempt. Although, no, that's not true. The judge did do something about it this past January. She dismissed it. So, yeah. Again, KathyP, you might want to do your fucking homework.
So what happens now?
Hearings, now they got to go to court for that. And they keep dragging it out.
No, we're going back to court, but for a myriad of things, because this just won't fucking end.
Is there like
trying to appeal the orders?
So EKC currently harassed someone to the point that they got a protective order and then got contempt and then got, I'm just going
to explain this real quick. There's 11 people who were filed against. 11. Okay. Allegedly, I haven't seen anything to know for sure, but allegedly there's 2 lifetime orders that were granted because those 2 didn't show up. They just ignored it. So by default, this person just kept filing against them over and over again, and just, the court just granted it. Everyone else who's been fighting it, one person got hers totally dismissed entirely with fucking prejudice too. Yeah. And then this one turned, and then the other party turned around, just filed again, and just different shit. And she's back in court over this. And the other person also got hers dismissed with prejudice. So we're waiting to see if that's going to be allowed to stand or not. And then 2 other people are still fighting this. Have flown to Kansas twice to fight this. Twice. And we'll be arguing a motion for reconsideration upcoming at some point. Yeah. So, see, she's leaving all of this out. She leaves all of this out. Much like what it is we all did, or what it is I did, this big, bad, horrible thing I did, is left out along with the rest of the facts. I don't know.
And then got contempt for it. and now she's currently in court fighting the contempt order. And if she gets
the first contempt attempt was dismissed. This is just another attempt.
So yeah,
and if
still trying.
And if she gets convicted, what happens? If she they find her guilty,
it's civil court,
guilty of contempt and all that stuff.
She could end up with a fine or jail time. Veda too. Steve. All three of them.
That's wild.
It is wild. You beat him. That is the most accurate thing I think I've heard. That's wild. It fucking is. And it's also shitting all over the First Amendment, the right to free speech, the right to give your opinion, the right to be asked to be left alone. It's shitting all over that. That's how wild it is.
The one I just testified at was, again, Rennell. And to me, out of the four, Rennell was not the worst. Rennell backed them up.
So this lady is literally simping for a lady that stalked someone and is currently under contempt of court. Oh my, Soup, you gotta look
she
up
doesn't
shit.
know. That's what I mean. That's why I'm doing. She doesn't know. She only knows.
Oh my God.
I don't think she knows the history of all of it and what it's all involved. And
Soup,
that's why I'm doing this. Not to go at Soup, just to let her know some more of the history that they weren't bothering.
I mean, I get it. I'm not gonna go at. I mean,
we're not bothering because it's ancient history. We're not trying to still spin some narrative to paint some image of anyone. We've moved on, boo.
I know Soup doesn't like me, but I get it that she wouldn't know this stuff because I had no clue about this stuff either. So
I don't either.
To be fair, I mean, I get it. She doesn't know the deep lore, and she's being lied to in the chat. But seriously, this is some crazy stuff.
JLR has a street named after him.
Okay, so that's the end of that part. What's the next part I have?
Your talent, your style, your book. Dorrance Publishing.
Reputation never stopped. Molly, Spanky, Veda, EKC, all of them. The only one who backed off was Without a Crystal Ball, owned her shit, apologized, and put out the facts.
Yeah, only after she didn't get her way, and the family said, "Dude, leave us the fuck alone." And then after she tried to push some narrative or whatever, saying that Dre's kids were taken away from CPS, and then Molly I said on live stream, "I can't confirm this information. I don't know if it's true." Then Katie lost her shit. That's when Katie started backing away, because then Katie brought in Unirock to help you guys run this other narrative to come after Molly. Yeah, that's when y'all started hating Molly too, if you recall. Talk about simps. Oh my God.
That made them go. And they were already haters. She already had a lot of extreme haters. That just made this little group, because of Molly being connected to all of them, go at her even harder.
No.
Nonsense wrote.
True.
That she probably meant wrote that fake article.
No,
Outrage.
Nonsense did not write that article. That fake article came.
In all honesty and transparency, I don't know who wrote it, who actually penned it, but I do think some people had a hand or were indirectly or even directly responsible for it.
Right from who I said, and I stand on that. Molly.
So then you're gonna fall.
And I believe Spanky was behind it too, with JLR, in my opinion.
Rage for at least another month. Also, they chose the city of the article being published, Hershey, Pennsylvania.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know who's telling you this stuff, but they're wrong. Molly and Spanky deliberately went to Georgia using Quentin Simon.
That doesn't mean that that's where it was published from. What are you even talking? Okay. The first article. Now, upon my hearing about this and seeing this, I went right into research mode, and I started pulling up shit on the website, the author, anything and everything I could find, searching for any web of trust issues, whatever. And I found that it was stating or claiming to have been originating from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Now, to which I asked, Why the fuck would Molly write or put out this article and then allow it or have it come back to her fucking where she lives? Which it could be from anywhere in the world. That was the first article. The second article came from, I think, someplace in Africa. That's what it was saying. And they want to keep trying to pin this on JLR. But here's the thing. There were a total of 3 articles, two regarding the first instance, and then there was the second one written. The second one written, that's the one that was loosely tied to some like media, some marketing media website or whatever that was loosely tied to JLR, and along with probably thousands of other people, whatever. Because when you have a channel, when you have content, and when you're trying to make money off of your content, you need to promote, you need to get it out there. So a lot of these multimedia or these marketing media websites will either used through like a third party joining site or whatever, or it's used directly. A lot of these content creators will use them. You know how I know this? Because I was looking into things that Katie had been posting, claiming over the years. I first discovered her using these sites way back in 2020. So yeah, that's how I know that. So yeah.
As the reason they were there to exploit Marwan, even interviewed his dad and stepmother. It was awful. And then they announced his death hoax.
They didn't announce it. They were in a live stream. Someone in the chat told them about it and shared a link to the website. It was a fake bullshit website. I mean, I have to say, any content creator, anyone who's in the area of sharing information or putting news out there, you need to have a little bit of knowledge to know that you have to do some due diligence and to do that due diligence. And they didn't do that. That's where they fucked up. But you know who did? Right away. That was me. Because, well, we'll get to that point.
I don't think
I don't even think she was monetized back then.
Yeah, she was.
Danielle is a real person. I think
yes, Danielle was real, was not nonsense, was not me, was not anyone.
I don't think she was nonsense or anyone else. Whether or not she was a real person, I don't fucking know. Whatever. I don't really care.
Go look on Down the Rabbit Hole News. She also has some good videos with facts and police reports. There's things you don't know.
Oh, you're still calling it a police report? Because even nonsense quit calling it a police report, at least according to some DMs that I recently read up in a live stream. Yeah, even she admitted fault, but she won't do that publicly, apparently. And Rabbit here, that Bunny Fufu here, who you're speaking on, last I checked, now for granted, I haven't checked in months probably, but the last I did check, she took down all those videos. She didn't let them stay up. She took them all down. Yeah. Oops. It wasn't a police report. It was an online submission form. Anyone can make it. You didn't have to show or prove who you were or show or prove any of the things you were saying. You're just informing someplace of something, and they just like filed it away. That's all it was. But you go on and keep calling it a police report, sure.
In Amethyst Moon.
And I had proof to these things too. I'll be linking them.
And had a few that were nonsense followers made her. Well, they're not.
She had, EKC says, yeah, she's been coming for me since 2022, just because I debunked her lies about this woman's grieving, losing her son. You're a liar, EKC.
Oh,
she wasn't coming after you. You were the.
So was I lying then when I put together all those clips of her talking shit about me and put them all together in a live stream I did? This was, what was this? Was it? I don't think it was last year. I think it was the end of 2023. I'm not sure. It was either the end of 2023 or the end of 2024. When did I move in here? I think it was the end of 2023. Yeah, because it was before I went. This was before I went to trial in February. Pretty sure, almost sure. Anyways, I put together, it was right around Christmas time. Because she was claiming how she never talks about me. And I'm like, you fucking liar. So I put together a whole bunch of little clips of her talking about me over and over and over again. Right now I have shorts and videos up on my channel of her talking about me, but she never talks. She never came for me. I don't know why she needs to try and hide that so badly. Why she doesn't want anyone to know that she's talked all kinds of shit about me for so long. I mean, how she just caught wind of me being in another channel's chat, and she's up there doing 7-hour live streams about me already, but she never talks about me. Sure. Oh my God. Why you gotta hide it, man? Why you gotta try and hide it? What are you ashamed of? I'd be ashamed too. Whatever.
The one making video after video going at her, and you didn't debunk shit.
Following.
It's amazing how Kathy, among others, nonsense, they just want to ignore what's right there in front of their face. They want to ignore receipts and everything. And then they sit there and say, they never put out receipts. They never show proof. They never do this. You do this, and they go around and say, they never do it. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. I didn't see that. You didn't see that. Nope, that wasn't there. Holy shit. Like, why are you so sensitive, man?
Nonsense anymore, so things have changed.
No, she won't, Sheila. She'll never tell.
I personally have been attacked by nonsense in her gang. They will do whatever it takes to win.
Nonsense as a gang?
Okay.
Nonsense as a gang?
Gang.
Gang? Do anything? No. They spit facts.
They spit something, all right. I never knew facts smelled so much like bullshit before. Oh my God. Okay.
If no one ever taught you how to manage your money, or you're secretly ashamed of where you're at financially, this is for you.
What's going on? No.
I debunked.
He put out. So I can watch the chat.
Yeah, she's been coming at me since 2022.
That's not true. That's not
just
true.
Because
go look on the channels.
Yeah.
I was the one that reviewed EKC. Nonsense barely ever gave her any attention whatsoever. They made video after video after video about her.
We made video after video after video about the lies she was telling, about how she was trying to ruin and wreck Miss Latisha. That's what we made videos on. We don't give a shit about her. I mean, still to this day, I mean, if you go back and if you go to Nonsense's page on our Facebook and you read that thread, the one where she says, "Oh, I'm just posting this so nobody gets this shit confused." Okay, so some like legal paperwork was like filed against Miss Latisha, but it has nothing to do with this. So please just don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. So, and then Katie Joy came in and just showed proof of what it is that Nonsense is talking about. It's a financial thing. And then the thread, the comments on this, it fucking broke my heart to think that this woman here, it was mourning the loss of her son, basically. Like, because even if he hadn't passed away yet, physically, he was gone. So she's mourning the loss of her son. And they're sitting up there in comments behind their little fucking keyboard and shit, under whatever name they want to use, saying how, "Oh, you're not really his mother. You weren't there for him. You don't deserve to be here. You're just trying to scam money. You're a piece of shit." And then trying to turn these information report things into like actual police reports, trying to get the woman arrested. That's what Nonsense platformed. There, right there. And notice how I can sit here and I can directly point to what it is I'm talking about and what it is she did and what it is other people did and said. I'm not just sitting here saying, "Oh my God, they were just horrible."
Thing they put out got debunked because it was all bullshit.
I debunked her lies about this woman grieving losing her son.
No,
Mm-hmm.
that's not. No,
yeah,
that's not at all what was going on.
Yep.
There was tons of money being raised, but there was no trips made to see this son.
Yeah, there were. There was one trip made. Everyone knows this, and there were receipts shown. There were receipts shown to what it is she paid to the attorney. All this shit was shown. And there was not even any agreement or condition about the GoFundMe that she used that money to a specific cause. The money was to just help her, to aid her in her efforts to see her son again. And she got that. She achieved that. Now, what KathyP wants to sit here and talk about is not even GoFundMe money raised. She wants to talk about all the other money that came in, like through, I don't know, AdSense. for Molly, through super chats, through just through super stickers, anything. Because people did donate, just wanting Latisha to have money to make this time of her life easier. And someone even, I think Molly gave her money, said, go get a steak or something with it. Don't use anything. Don't pay bill. Go get a steak. That's what KathyP keeps confusing here, is the money that Molly made as a YouTuber and the money that people donated to help Latisha find closure. But sure, keep ignoring the fact that all these receipts were shown. And I'll link that video too as well.
From these grieving people.
See, we got it wrong.
So much,
you got it wrong. I saw that part of it, and it was like, it was a grift by Molly. A lot of the money was.
It was a grift by Molly. Molly didn't start the GoFundMe. That was started before Molly even knew about this, by Latisha's family members. So there was no like GoFundMe grift going on. Now, if you're talking about Molly's grift as a YouTuber, well, what the fuck are we all doing here? Think about that. I mean, sure. I mean, we're all here for other reasons too, and we all have like various degrees of why we're here for each reason or whatever. Like some people may be here primarily and entirely for money. Some people may be here, money's good, but mostly I'm here for something else. But we're all here. We're all here for it. We're all here for the purpose of getting views. So if that's grifting, then join the club there, boo.
Unaccounted for.
And honestly, I'm sorry, but Latisha too.
Yeah, she was grifting. She was grifting a lot. The mother. Yeah. I'm not even joking. I seen it, and it was like kind of crazy.
She'd mother up everybody and everything. Yeah.
And like, didn't she like say like she didn't even go to see her?
The money to go see him.
She didn't even go. Yeah, she didn't even use the money to go see him. I remember that she was.
Yeah, she did. They just want to keep telling you that she didn't, but she fucking did. And she even showed proof of this. I mean, this is just the fact that you're still spinning this. And really, you should. I'm going to link another video here in the description too. It's up on a channel. I call it Like I See It, I think it's called. But the video that's shared is a clip from Flava's channel, where Flava had up someone, Possum Wrangler, I think, a Possum Wrangler, I think is the name. I'll link it below. Possum Wrangler got into the DMs with nonsense after the fact, saying, some of this doesn't sit right with me, how this woman was attacked. And Nonsense agreed with her privately in DMs. But she's taken no accountability for anything she's done publicly against Latisha. Because she won't. She can't. She'd rather let this grieving mother continue with that feeling, with that pit in her stomach, because of what Nonsense helped lead people into doing. She'd rather let that stay than face 1 second of realizing she was wrong.
Like literally just didn't
spent out of the couple days she was there, she spent a few hours visiting him. That was it. Never even attempted to go back.
And didn't they have like not the greatest father? Didn't they not?
He was adopted by his grandparents.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That was his mom and dad.
I don't know if there's a delay, but I'm trying to say, like, wasn't the situation is that he didn't really have a good relationship with his mother?
He did not. With either of his biological parents, his birth parents, his grandmother who raised him. That was his mother.
It's true. His grandmother did help. Well, she may have been like the lead person raising him for the first 10 years, maybe, of his life, or the middle 5 years of his life, something like that. But no, his mother was there in the beginning. His mother was there when he became a teenager, and yeah, but still, imagine though you have a kid, for whatever reason, a family member assists you in taking care and raising this kid. Imagine then years later being told you don't have a right to love him by strangers on the internet. They're telling you this, and then they're hating on you for it as you grieve the loss of him. Fucking imagine that.
Mother, she was in a nursing home. His grandfather had passed away not too long before that, and
shit. What do I do?
What if there was a locked door inside of you? leading to something extraordinary. I'd like to give you a...
I'm talking.
Sorry about that. I'm going to probably edit that really loud banging sound out so you guys don't have to hear it, but I just dropped my phone on the keyboard and just totally fucked up where I was. Why won't you accept my code? This is annoying. Okay, so I am going to here now.
Once again,
Did
kudos.
you never listen to Veda or Steve? But you have blinders on when it comes to Steve. You call him Daddy. Remember? Yeah, I read that. It's on my channel too. See, I don't hide my videos. They're still there for all to see. And how
That's not true. One video I tried looking for like a year ago and it wasn't there anymore. So I don't remember what it is, and I'd have to go back and see if that's still the case. But I know for a fact that there was one video I was looking for. It was no longer there.
you said you would do anything to defend him.
Oh, that's not what she said. But of course, KathyP just can't be fucking accurate. I mean, at least do the respect the spirit of debate enough to just be accurate in your representation, okay? What she said was she witnessed it. She saw that Katie Joy had lied about accusing him of sexually harassing her, and she will always defend him for that. That's not going to waver no matter what happens, because that was wrong. That's what she said. She didn't say she would do anything to defend him. She said, I will always defend him when it comes to that. That's what she said. Big difference there.
Anything? Yeah, I have that too.
Veda, for actually digging, researching, and finding the truth.
Veda didn't do shit.
Oh, why does that get you so upset? Like this, why it seems like that makes you feel insecure or something. I don't know. I'm just okay. I'm being a little opinionated here, but it's a weird reaction.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
What
she
fucking
did.
planet are you on?
Wait. She did shit in a graveyard. She did do
I
that.
She did.
She did do shit.
Well, she was good at creating emails, and I do believe she was behind the emails I received. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick to it. I also have that guy look at it.
See, there, right there. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick to it. So you're just going to hold this opinion and be blind to everything else around it. Because let me tell you something. And I get it. You probably don't know about this because it's not like Katie was going to tell anyone. So I get it. But yeah, last June 2024, Katie somehow ended up with an interview with her local sheriffs and the FBI, and she reported these same emails, this same activity they're creating these emails or whatever, these accounts, sending the most horrific shit. And she threw our names into the ring. There's those who could be responsible. So they investigated. We all spoke to the authorities during that investigation. And then it was closed because there was no evidence. Nothing was found. Now, if you mean to tell me that Vada is smarter than an entire sheriff's department, even with the cyber security or whatever, cyber investigation unit, don't listen to what Katie says. Katie, her county is just like really like stuck in Mayberry and shit and nowhere near advanced enough to investigate shit like this. Oh no, they are. They really are. The state is too. So you mean to tell me Vada is more intelligent than an entire county of sheriffs, deputies, and investigators, and a cyber investigation unit, and smarter than the fucking FBI, who kind of specialize in cyber crimes and investigation? If you mean to tell me that Vada, who I'll refer to as Potato, is better and more intelligent and smarter and just sneakier, whatever, than these investigatory agencies, then you're a fucking idiot. You really are looking at shit blindly then. You just have these blinders on. You don't see anything else other than your intended goal of let's hate Vada, Aaron, Steve, and just make them hate shit. Wow. It's amazing how much power you guys will put into someone you call Potato when it suits you.
Guy dig into those emails. Veda's not clever. Veda also was debunked even on Twitter with her. This is how they set up these emails. This is how they did this. No, she was debunked right and left, just like you will be, you was, EK was, Steve was. None of y'all told the truth. You chose Renell to run with their narrative, and it was wrong. Blank, simple. And I do believe your little henchmen like Megan and Black Wolf are the ones that came into my children by name, threatening to put them on the dark web. Yeah, I still have the screenshots. So does the police.
Oh, so you reported these things to the police, and Veda, who you just said is not clever, it's outsmarted the police? Like, where do you live that you have such idiotic policemen? Like, seriously, I don't think you do. I don't think you live somewhere where the police are stupid. Don't get me wrong. But according to you, they must be, because someone who's not clever was able to get away with all this shit. Like, death threats to your kids. Like, that's insane. It really is. Okay.
And the threatening emails about killing my children. These are the kind of people you're talking about here, Stinson.
You see, you notice how she's just automatically associating us with that action, with that deplorable action. She's just automatically making the association, offering no proof, no nothing to substantiate her accusation, her claims. Nothing. She offers you nothing. That's how little she respects you. That's how little she wants to put your trust in her to win you over in an argument. She doesn't provide you anything. She just tells you and expects you to fucking lap it up. Wow.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Because these people, these parents were put through.
Hold on, let me find some more that she's done. I've watched a lot of hers. I like her thumbnails, and she's still going live or doing uploads on Gypsy Rose and Ryan. She's got
most of her channel is going after Katie George, like
another one.
Her content, because she doesn't even better talk to.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
And how easy it was.
We have to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44.
Oh no, thank you, Pearl. I appreciate you. You're a good mod. You're a good supporter. I consider you a friend. And if I need a video, I know you're there for me. I appreciate you. But I also digging, and I also know about the pregnant woman, EKC, you know, how you tagged her with the vaccines, the one that miscarried. There's a lot I know about.
Calling out, or someone's coming.
Is that the homework you did? And I noticed, I heard you say Purple there, who used to be my mod and used to be my friend apparently too. I can't believe that she would just sit there and just let that fly, what you just said, because she knows for a fact that that's not the case. She knows. She was there with me throughout our efforts to advocate for vaccines, to try to end the spread of misinformation that would put lives at risk. But I'll correct that now in a moment. I will go. I'm not even going to put a link up to. I'm going to show you the proof in this video. You're fucking wrong. How you're lying, and you didn't even buy. You just want to sit there and say you did your homework. You looked into shit. You looked into me. You didn't look too hard or far then. Okay, you need to put a little more effort into it, baby, because you suck at it.
And that you act like
you like these people. I actually did my homework when I was doing just uploads. And that LB video series I did, I showed the proof of her faking messages and stuff and emails. Do you know how long that took me to dig all that stuff up?
She's talking about 2019. The text mess, the infamous text messages where Katie Joy said something horrible regarding the passing of LB's nephew. I'm not going to get into the specifics. It's ancient history and it should stay there. But you mean to tell me that KathyP did her homework into this and she broke the case wide open, whatever, when all these other people involved for so long couldn't do it? We just all needed KathyP there. Okay. I'm guessing that you just took what you wanted and showed what you wanted and then just sat there and said, no, this is true. This is true. Yep, it is.
But it was fun. I miss doing that.
Hi, Kitty. I know.
I actually miss it. I'm going to get back to that. I miss that. I'm sick of just the call outs, but I just wanted Stins to know that there's a lot going on here. And I don't even know if she'd want to get involved in all that shit. You know?
In all honesty, you probably don't want to get involved in it. I wouldn't blame you. But you're going to see a lot of the same behaviors out of Nonsense and KathyP going forward with any issues you may have with them, both, either of them. So for that reason, it might be worth it. I don't know.
Oh, she may dislike Nonsense, but I don't think she's an extreme hater like the Caters, the extremists are. And that's what these people are. And I just want her to be aware of what they are and we've done. At least some of it. I can give her tons of video links that she can see for herself and make her own decision that weren't by me or by Nonsense, that were by other people on the outside, you know?
Right.
And how long it's been going on. But on that thing, I have to support Nonsense in this. Sorry, but I do. That was a whole shit show. No, I don't think they'd have wanted any real parts of it. They'd have
okay. Oh yeah, good thing
smart and slick. They'd always
good thing I searched that because the vaccine she actually discussed in more detail in the very beginning, it looks like. So let's get back there, okay? So
there's a lot you don't know about EKC. Why don't you ask her about the mother who lost her baby that she attacked over and over again over vaccines?
Did you hear that? Why don't you ask her about the mother who she attacked over and over again over vaccines? That's the claim that KathyP wants to run with. Okay, sure. So, oh shoot, I don't have the links up there anymore. Damn it. 1 second. 1 second, and I will have these pulled up. I thought I had them pulled up. Apparently not. So what happened is back in 2019, I was interviewed by CNN and a few other major media outlets, like Global News out of Canada for one. And I mentioned that one because I'm going to be playing a video real quick from their site. All right, so. Okay, so there's one. Okay, so, oh, I gotta pull up the other one. Okay, so what happened was back in 2019, I was interviewed by CNN and a few other media outlets, including Global News out of Canada. Now, I mentioned that because I'm going to be playing the video from their site because the video on CNN for some reason isn't playing anymore. So as you see here, though, this is CNN. My computer runs slow. I'm sorry. And this is dated March 21st, 2019. It's by Elizabeth Cohen and John Bonifield. Now I'm going to just go ahead to, oops. No, go away. I'm going to go ahead and just go to the global news site. And I'm just going to play like a snippet of the beginning of the video, and then I'm going to play where it talks about my involvement. Okay. Because that's what we're here to discuss, is how Kathy can't get a fucking thing right. So. Exit. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I have to wait for an ad. Oh my god, it's so annoying. It's gonna be a 30-second ad, of course.
Progress isn't about overhauling your life or always being perfect. Ooh. My progress is making smart choices to help lower my A1C with my Freestyle Libre Plus sensor. It's the little wins, baby. And getting one at half the cost of other CGMs. Well, that's a big win. Come on, lady.
Try it free at freestylelibre3.us/Sherry.
Come on.
Okay, so who's going first?
Jude McGee is never far from his family, be it looking over them in a picture or in their thoughts. It's been almost 3 years that he went down for a nap. The 2-year-old never got up. When it was determined he died from the flu, his mother, Jill Promoli, had to decide if she'd speak publicly about immunizations.
It's quite negative out there, and it can be quite aggressive and quite violent at times also.
What she and other parents like her have since discovered, the anti-vaxxer movement is large, organized, and cruel, bombarding parents with vicious attacks meant to dissuade.
I can't take this.
The science is
okay. I just want to throw this out there now. You're going to see me up in video in a moment. Now, remember, this was back in March of 2019. I was a lot fatter then. So, yeah. I don't like seeing it, but it is a nice reminder of how far I've come. You know, there's that.
Are widely distributed. Aaron Costello, who is an administrator of the pro-vaccine group What's the Harm, uses fake profiles to keep tabs on all the negative online chatter.
We want to expose the behavior, the mob mentality that takes over.
The online attacks are getting worse, and Canada is not immune.
I joined some of Canadian groups, and they were small groups when I first joined, and they've grown like threefold since then. We're talking like 6 months or less.
Canada's measles vaccination rate is at 89%, slightly lower than it is in the U.S.
So, yeah.
Yet not even 3 months into 2019.
Yeah, it doesn't go into the whole story there, but oops. Let me scroll down because it'll explain it more. I think. Maybe not. Okay. So then the other article, which came out in April, which it just a few weeks later was when I was interviewed. I go into explain it a little more, I think. Yeah, it's only a 15-second ad. Yeah.
Get long-lasting quality comfort you can feel good about. Price like pretty nice. delivered right to your door.
Tara Hills has her hands full.
Do you want me to hold?
A mother to 9 children.
Box, there can be so much information and a lot of bad information.
An opinion poll commissioned by Global News found that nearly a third of Canadians get their information on vaccine safety from the internet and social media instead of their doctor.
There's certainly a lot of evidence-based literature on why people should vaccinate. It's just that that type of information might not necessarily be popular on social media.
This social media researcher says the anti-vaccination side is winning online.
The problem really was unchecked by platforms and regulated for quite a while now.
Facebook, YouTube, and Pinterest now cracking down on vaccine misinformation, and other platforms are facing pressure to do the same.
And it's spreading misinformation and it's putting the public at large at risk.
This American mom works to infiltrate and challenge misinformation on anti-vaccine Facebook groups, like this page from Canada. And in response, she's faced backlash.
Death threats. I had dozens of messages sent to me. One of the members made a post asking for other members who lived near me. That's when I started getting worried.
Hills says that toxic tone of the online vaccination debate.
So there's that. Now, remember, what was it that Kathy said? She said, why don't you ask her about the mother who lost her baby that she attacked over and over again over vaccines? No, you see, what I would do is when I would see, like, I would go into these groups, and these groups, someone would make a post saying, oh my God, look at this person on my Facebook page. They're blaming the child's illness or the child's death or whatever on a vaccine, on anti-vaxxers or on not being vaccinated. They're pushing vaccines, in other words, and then they'd be like, it would usually end with something like, let's go educate her or him or whatever. Let's go educate them. And then this mob of people would form. And the main group where this would happen was in the biggest group at the time, which was Stop Mandatory Vaccinations. And that had, I don't even remember how many people in the group were in it before Facebook took it down. It was around 200,000, either just below it or just over it, I think. Maybe it's like 150,000, but it was at least that much. So people would then like kind of join up together and then go to this person's Facebook page and just start leaving these hateful, most vile comments and blame the parents for their child being dead, or saying that they're all just a false flag, that their kid never really existed. So when I saw these posts starting in these anti-vax groups, I would then reach out to the person and say, listen, if you're getting a lot of hate, this is why, just so you know where it's coming from. And here's what you can do about it. And I would explain to them how they can lock down their profile or how they go about reporting the group and or the person who put the post up in the group. That's what I did. But Kathy wants to turn that around into my attacking a mother who lost her baby over and over and over again, over vaccines. That's how much homework Kathy does. But, it could be possible that she's getting me confused with someone else from the community. Because there is someone who did kind of attack someone who lost a baby. And that would be Katie Joy. Because you see, about a year prior to my interview, this back in 2018, she covered a couple of stories from the Free Birth group or whatever on Facebook, where there were a couple of stillborns. Now, I'm not saying that Katie was wrong for writing about this, and especially the manner in which she did. I'm not saying she was wrong. I'm just saying I understand how some people may feel a certain way about it, and they would see that as attacking. And I can see how maybe someone, KathyP, who doesn't do any fucking homework and doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, might get that kind of confused. That's all I'm saying. But here, let me show you the article that I'm talking about, just so, I don't get accused of not showing fucking receipts, Here, and this can only be pulled up on the Wayback Machine because Pathio scrubbed any and all association with Katie Joy because, they didn't want to be sued. So, This here is from October 11, 2018. Mother decides to have an unassisted childbirth and kills her baby. So yeah. Oh, but you know, of course, though, when she talked about this, she started off with just telling people it was about this one person. But before I shared that woman's story, I want to share my own birthing story because they're so similar in terms of complications and everything. But I made the right decision. You know, okay. But she's a reporter, y'all. Anyway. And she shares all of these screenshots too. Now, while this woman was in labor with her baby, she was posting in the free birth group, asking for advice, updating them on the ongoings and everything. And people tried to advise her to go to the hospital, but the owners of the group removed those posts because that's not what the group's about. Apparently the group's not about delivering live babies. I don't know. So weird. So Katie Joy achieved screenshots of all of this and put them up in her article. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that she was wrong for doing that. I mean, it is an education that I think if it's still going on, I think people should be made aware of it. But I can see how someone might confuse that and say that someone was attacking a grieving mother after losing their baby. So yeah. Way to go, Kathy. Way to go. And I'll put the link to all this too in the description because, again, I come with fucking receipts. Mm-hmm. All right. And I think that might be it. I think that might be all I really wanted to cover here. But let me just be sure about that.
Why don't you ask her about that woman? Ask her about why she has a restraining order against her and is facing contempt charges.
You can ask me, but I don't have the answer for you. I want to know the answer myself.
Yeah, some do. Some do. Yes, they are purple. Yes. Yes. And I guess Black Wolf and Megan are threatening to do a live about me on Wednesday. Go for it, bitches. You don't know nothing. Fuck, you don't know me. You don't know the first thing about me. Do your shit.
You know, that kills me. We don't know the first thing about her. But this is who you're showing us to be. It's such a strange image that you want us to have for you to put out there. You don't know the first thing about me. So you don't go into saying all this negative shit about me, even though that's all I've ever shown you regarding myself.
I've never struck anybody, but I'll be happy to strike you.
Of course. What are you striking them for? What? For talking about you? Like, this is the most bizarre thing ever. And I don't get how like content creators will sit there and say, oh my God, they're stalking me. You're putting content out there to the public, for the public to view publicly. That's not stalking. That's you achieving your goal. Anyway.
If you're gonna put out the fucking truth, not your bullshit.
You first.
And I'm the wrong one to threaten right now.
Who threatened you? How did you jump from that to a threat, man? What goes on in your head for that? They said that they were going to do a stream about you. And now you're talking about go ahead and threaten me. What? Oh my God. Like, this is how this shit happens. This is how people end up with TROs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just testified. About a week ago. It's still dragging out in court. Yep, still is. Except for Steve's, I think. I don't know. I don't talk to her about that stuff. I rarely ever talk to her. We weren't friends like that. I only got involved because I was reviewing them. And I seen what they were doing to her on multiple social media platforms.
What were we doing?
I'm talking Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Because I know for myself, I was responding. I got served with a cease and desist on, no, wait, I received a text message on the 14th. And I'm referencing this because later on it was referenced how I should have just listened to that text message on the 14th of August, 2023. And then there was a 23rd, maybe? I think it was, it was the 23rd, I think I received the cease and desist. And then it said that I should have just listened. And then I would have received the cease and desist. I went back and looked because all my Twitter shit's still up. And I have screenshots of all the other Twitter shit. And throughout that time, I didn't initiate anything. But there were repeated, I mean, like for that week, there was probably 24 examples of me being instigated with. But I was supposed to just shut up. I don't, because that's what I did. I defended, I replied, I reiterated, whatever. But somehow that's harassment. So, I mean, and this is what's been so frustrating for me throughout this entire process, because I kept hearing over and over again how I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. I'm not talking about anyone here specifically. I'm not getting into the details, but I'm going to say I have all the screenshots. I have all the evidence. This is also why I haven't asked anyone to testify for me. But a lot of the people who were involved in this all use anonymous or whatever pseudonyms anyways. They'd have to then reveal who they are legally, you know, their name. And I don't want to ask anyone to do that. But mostly it's not needed, because what's being argued about is what we said and did and put out there as content publicly. What do we need witnesses for when it's right there? I mean, we can pull it up and show in context everything. What's the witnesses other than to, I don't know, other than to just bow down the whole system? I don't know. I'm not going to make any accusations. I don't know, but I don't see the point other than it being a waste of time, because right now, KathyP and I've never been in any private DMs. She cannot attest to or testify to anything I said or done privately. It's all public shit. I'm myself am bringing in that evidence. So yeah, this is why I say that her nonsense, they just wanted to jump in and get involved. And I'm, that much was also testified to in court, I think. I don't know. It had to have been anyways. So yeah. They want to jump in and get involved in our fucking business. That's what they're doing. And they're still doing that because nonsense catches wind of me being in the live chat on a channel. And here I am. Here we are. But I'm such a non-factor. All right, I'm wrapping this up. I spent way too much time on this as it is. Like I said, today is Thursday, 12:37 p.m. Eastern time, October 2nd. So by this time tomorrow, there will be all of the links. There should, we're gonna say by Saturday morning, just to be safe. By Saturday morning, all the links for all the things I'm talking will be in the description for anyone who should they choose to. I have different notifications turned on for different devices. I don't know why. So yeah, I will have all the links in there that I can find, that I definitely, that I promise to provide. I will absolutely provide, and they will be in the description we'll say by this time tomorrow. Other links besides the ones I promised may take another day, because I gotta spend time going through shit. And I'll be honest, I don't really want, because I feel like it's a waste of time. I'm just going to be remaking my case, proving a point, and they're not going to care. I know that it's not going to alter their position or anything they say. I get that, and that's fine. I don't care. They have every right to talk whatever bullshit they want, I guess, you know, because I do support and believe in free speech. But you can rest assured that I have every right to reply, to respond, especially when they're lying. So yeah. Anyways, okay, thanks for watching. I'm out of here. Why does that go to that one? Anyway, so, all right, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Bye.